Okay, I start with this example, right? It's a specific example here. Basically, for every program, the first step you have to do is the planning. The planning, that means you have to deeply understand the purpose of the program, right? What is the requirement of the program here, right? And normally in pseudocode, you work with the header command, and you know that in the pseudocode, when you put it double slash here, it is a header command. Header command to tell you what is the purpose of the program here. And remember, I believe that I mentioned it somewhere in the slide for module number 1 or module number 2. So basically, the command is something it really helps for the programmer to understand what's going on with your program here. But from the computer perspective, it have no benefit here. And later on, I show you why it have no benefit, because when you execute program, the computer will ignore every command here, right? But again, it really helpful for the programmer to understand what's going on with the program here. So we done with everything with planning, right? Now, for every program, you have 3 basic elements. Input, so what you need to get it. It might be from end user, or it might be from later on when you learn file, right? It can get it from file or anything. You get it from input, right? So when you have the input, you have to do everything. It's a processing. The processing, you do something about the assignment or processing here, right? Calculation here. And after that, the last thing is output. You just take it out and print it out into the screen here. Every program, you have 3 basic elements: input, processing, and output here. Make sense? Okay, now in the planning session, you have to declare some required variable here, and based on the rest of information, what variable are needed. Now, do you have any concept what are variable and what are constant? Do you have any concept about variable and constant?
I think the constant is like the same. It stays the same, and the variable is what we would change, like certain inputs.
Yeah, right. You're right. So now is that in the process, right? In the process of planning session, you have to the first step here, you have to figure out what are the variable and what are constant in order to work with this program here, right? So now if you look on this program, you need what you need to do here. That is very easy for this program. It's very simple here, right? So if you look on the collecting input here, can you tell me how many variable you need for the input? How many variable you need for the input here?
I think 4.
What are they?
You need the customer's last name, the number of bathrooms and other rooms, and the $40 plus the 15 for each bathroom, and the
No.
$10. Oh.
So for the input, right, you need this last name. That's the first variable. That is the second one. That is the third one. But you see, they are constant, not variable. You don't need to get it from user, right? Because whatever is that you have 1 bathroom or 2 bathroom or 1 other room, it always stay at 40, 15, and 10 here. Make sense? They are constant. Yeah, so for the input, you know for sure you need 3 input here, right? So now I list it here. And remember that when you work with variable, try to use meaningful variable name, right? So let me see here. You have last name. It is 1 variable, right? Last name. Yeah. What else? Let me see it here. Number of bathroom. Number. Bathroom. Number as a room. All right, you have the 3 variable. Make sense? You have you have the 3 variable here for the input. Now for the 40, You have to for the 40, 15, and 10, they are constant. But again, it should be better you put some name here because I mentioned it very clearly in my slide here, right? In my slide here. Yeah, you should declare name for the constant. So even that the constant stays the same, you should give it some name. Otherwise, if you put something about 0.6 here, sometimes if you think about complicated program, it's very hard for you to follow up, and it's very hard for you to understand what is 0.06 here, right? So should be better you put it name and you assign the value for it, right? So I come back to my problem here, right? I have the service chart here, and I put it, and should be better I put everything in capital here. So when you look in the capital, you know that is constant here. That is a 40. I put it. That is a process of assignment, right? You assign the value 40 to constant name service here, service chart here. It makes sense. Now what else? Cost bathroom, right? Cost each room. You have 15 cost each row. You have 10 here. Right, so we will look in the program at the beginning. You see they are the constant here, right? And this is a variable here, right? And now you need to find out more variable, right? Input here, you have the 3 variable here, and in order to find out more variable, you should look at the output here, right? Output here, you need to display customer name. You have it already, right? You need to display number of bathroom. That is the cost to clean, right? The cost to clean up the number of bathroom here. So you know that you need one more variable here, right? You need one variable here. It is the cost. Or should we better put this capital here? And also for other room also, you need other room you have here already, right? Number of other room here you have here, but cost for other room you don't have, right? That's why you need one more variable here. You need one more variable here, cost of other room. And you have is it cost of other room and total other room, display total cost. It's a total cost, right? Or you can put it here, grand total. Okay. So that is the process when you do it planning, right? You have to identify here. You have identified what is the purpose of the program, of your program, right? You have to identify what are constant and what are variable. Some of them, they are input, right? They are input here. I see. They are input, right? But some of them, they are output. You need inputs, that means you need to get it from end user or from anything else, right? And outputs, that means you need to deliver to, you need to print it out. Make sense? Okay, so declare here. The first step here, you will put it declare here. It should be better you use the indentation here. You put the tab, you put everything here. One tab, and it's a tab here. Okay. Now, that's the process of declaration. Now, it is the process of input. Input, that means you get it from user here. So in order to get input, you know how to use it in the pseudocode, you know? You need to use, you need to use the keyword input here, right? Okay, you see, if you look on the slide here, you have the process here. See, where is this? It has many. It happened anywhere, I believe. Yeah, right. So see for this one. Right. So the process normally you can use input only, right? So think about if you want to get the input for last name here, Input for last name here, input, and put last name. All right, you can do it. That's what is it? It's that the process to tell user enter the number of last name here. So if he enter David, it will store David into the variable last name here. All right, but I do not recommend it normally for any input. You use a prompt also. Prompt tell user what they are supposed to do, right? So the prompt is that you have to put before input here. Output, that means tell user, right? Enter your last name. Okay, so that is the process you get input and store it into the variable last name here. It makes sense?
A little bit.
Okay. Now you got one input, right? So just remember you have, it should be better that you, yeah, I think you should do it with the word here. So we should get more concept. You understand concept more easily here. Now, you know this, the input, right? The input, so you need to get all of them. Now I get the first one already. I get the first input, right? Now I copy and do the same. Copy and do the same. Now enter this one, enter number of bathroom. Right? Now you have to store it into the variable number of bathroom here. You have to store it. Right? Now you need one more input variable, right? You need to get one more input here. The last one, it is number of other room here. All right. You have to put it here, and you have to change other room. You got it? So now you're done with the processing. Sorry, you're done with input, right? You think about it. You can put the header comment. Sorry, you can put the comment here, right? Getting input for last name, number of bathroom, and number of other room from user. It is a comment. It tells you that the process of input here. Now I can put here processing. Okay, so now you're done with the input. Now we move to the processing. If you look on the processing here, what you have to do? What do you think? What you have to do with the processing? What you have to do with the processing?
Maybe probably do the math.
Yeah, what math here?
The 15 for each bathroom, the 10 for the other room, and then the 40 plus.
Now you have to do it one by one, right? You see, you have to follow the process here. You will need to define the customer name. You can do it later, right? I'm asking about the processing here. But you see, you need to find out what is the cost to clean bathroom here, right? What is the cost to clean bathroom here? So you see, you have variable here, cost of bathroom here, right? And remember, for every processing and every assignment, you have to put variable name on the left here, right? So what do you think? How can you find out the cost of bathroom? How you find out?
With the input.
Yeah, how we find out? You find out cost of bathroom based on number of bathroom, right?
Times the 15.
No, not 15. Time cost of each bathroom here. You use constant name here, right? You are right. So now you have to put it here, right? It is input. You got it from user. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And you type each of them, they are cost of bathroom. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's all. Now you're done. You find out cost of bathroom. You do the same. Cost of other room. What do you put it here? What do you think?
The number of other rooms
Right,
times.
you're right. Yeah. Time what?
times cost of other rooms, or cost of each room.
Yeah, right. Cost of each room here. You're right. Alright, so now I find out cost for a bathroom, cost for other room. Now I can find grand total, right? Grand total here. And remember that you have to use a variable name, consistent variable name, otherwise you have syntax error. So should be better I copy it here and I paste it here. Alright, how can I find out grand total? How can you find out?
Cost of bathrooms, cost of the other rooms, and I forget what the other one was named.
I know you got the concept now. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And use that copy service check here, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's all. So now you're done with the processing. You find out what's the cost of bathroom, what's the cost of other room, and grand total now. The last thing is a output here. So now you have to look it. You have to look at the requirement here. You have to display customer name, right? So in pseudocode, in order to display it, you know that you have to use output keyword here, right? Output here. All right. Last name is so by everything you put it inside the double quote mark, it will print it out exactly with the text here, right? And now you have to take it out from variable name last name here. Right? That's all. That is process you print it out last name. Make sense? Okay. Now you look on this one. You have to display number of bathroom and number of bathroom also, right? So I put here to make this very easy. Yeah, I put copy it. All right. And I need to take the value from variable name number bathroom here. It's variable because it's changeable. Sometimes 1, sometimes 2, and so on here. And also I need to print it out cost of bathroom. All right. So I need one more output here. Cost of room. And I take it out from variable here. I just figure it out by processing. All right. I put it here. Okay, so now you do the same. I just copy it here. All right. I just copy it here. I modify number as a room. And this one, number as a room. And cost of as a room. And of course, I need to take it from variable cost of as a room here. All right. And the last thing, I want to print it out to grand total. And of course, I take it out. I take it out from grand total here. Okay, now I done. I go back to this one. I display the total and display program is complete. So that is very simple output here. The program is completed. Okay, that's all. That we're done. You're done with this one. And let me go out. I'll go back here, right? You have identified what's the purpose of the program. And next step here, you have identified what are constant and you give value to constant. You have to identify what are variable you need. So in order to find out what are variable, you need to find out what are the input and what are the output. And sometimes you need to use some temporary variable also. You name for them, right? Now the process of input, for each input, you need to use the prompt and input, prompt and input, from and input, right? And now we do the processing, and now we do the output. That's all. That's what you did with pseudocode. You got it or not? Just let me know.
I think I understand a lot more now. Thank you.
Now I can show you one thing, right? I can show you one thing there. For this program here, I can tell you, so once you understand the logic, you can convert it into the real programming language here, right? So think about if I work with the Python here. Right now, you don't have to do with the Python, but I just want to show you it's very simple if you understand the concept here. So basically, I do the other part here. I think I have the other student yesterday already. So now in order to do with the Python, I can show you here, right? I can show you here. That is a command in Python. And so basically in Python, in order to use a command, you use a hashtag here. To tell you what is the purpose of the program, right? And in Python, you have to do you don't have to do with the declare of all the variable here, but you need to do with assignment of constant here. Right? So I just copy it and paste it here. Now you need to get 3 input. You need to get 3 inputs. So I copy exactly the same. All right. And I need to put variable in one end. Variable here. What is the variable here? Last name here, right? Variable on the left, it's only on the left. And I put its input function. And I put from here. I put from here. Okay, that process you do with the Python. You get input, you store the variable name on the left, and you use the input function and use a prompt here. Now you're done with the last name. You need one more input. It's number of bathroom here. So we do the same process. You put it here, and you input, right? And you copy the text here, exactly the same. Yes, exactly the same. Now you need one more input. You have number of other room. You have input here, and I just copy from here. Okay, but one more thing about, sorry, equal, right? One more thing about, I believe I mentioned it in the recording that whenever you use the input function, what you got is own way in the string format, right? But if you want to work with calculation with mathematics, you have to convert them into the number format. Last name here in string format already, but the number of bathroom and number of other room, they must be in number format, right? And basically you have 2 functions to convert it. The first one, int function, it convert it into the whole number, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. The second one is the float here. Float function, they convert in the floating point, right? But for the number of bathroom and number of other rooms, they must be in integer number, whole number here. So you put int here and you put everything inside. That means you convert them into the number format. int. Okay, so now we're done with the input here, right? So think input here. Getting input. You're done with input. Now processing. Processing here. Processing, I copy exactly the same. I do all the processing here. I do the processing. I copy exactly the same and output here. Okay, so basically in the output in the Python, you have to use a print function. You have to use a print function, and I can copy exactly the same here. Sorry, not this one. I copy exactly the same. Or I think it should be better. I copy all of them and I just change output to prompt here. I can do it here. So now I change output by prompt print. Sorry. And sometimes you have, yes, that's all. Print here. Here. And bring it. Okay, that's all. Now see, I convert it from pseudocode to the Python here, and you know that they are command, right? So basically, when I execute it, have no benefit with the computer, but from the programmer point of view, it really helped me to understand what's going on with my program here. Now let me run it here, right? Yeah. Let me execute to run it here, run and debug. I have to save it somewhere. Yeah, I overwrite. I run it to Python. Yeah, so see what happened here, huh? Tell you, I see you have the prompt here to tell you what's the name, right? I put David here. Number bathroom. I have 4 bathroom. I have 3 other room, and you see it print it down. David, number bathroom, cost of bathroom, number other room, cost of other room, grand total, and the program is completed here. Make sense? And yeah, and you can see what happened here if I delete them. The program exactly the same. Right? So that's why I mentioned that the header command or command have no benefit with the computer point of view. It only have with the end user here, with the programmer here to tell them what's going on. I have David again, right? And this time I have the 7, I have 5, and bring it out here. Right? That's all. So for each program here, you follow exactly the same. You have to understand what's the purpose of the program. You put it in the header command, right? You have to identify what are constant and what are variable. For constant, you give it the name and give it the number here. Assign the number here. For variable, right? For variable, you can find out variable from input, from output, and sometimes you need to use a temporary variable also. And that's all. You follow exactly the same process to every pseudocode program. And when you understand the logic, you can convert it into the flowchart, or you can convert it into the real programming language here. Okay. Any question? Any other question?
No, I think I understand it a lot better now. Thank you.
You're welcome. So basically, normally I have learn anywhere class, so I can make a recording, so you can watch it from that. But for this semester, I don't have any learn anywhere class. That's why I sometimes I think it's quite hard for you if you are new to programming here. But yeah, anyway, if you need any help, you can reach out to me. I'm here to help you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.